Did you know that there's a feud between the two largest producers of animated films in the world, Dreamworks and Disney? Did you know that all this started with a foot in the ass? The Dreamworks loves making fun of Disney and has even copied some of its characters in movies. Well, if you did not know, rest assured that we will tell you everything now. So come on, take your chair and sit on the floor, that today we have a lot of good things to tell you. To begin with, did you know that the creator of Dreamworks was once president of Disney? Well, Jeffrey Katzenberg was president of Disney Studios and was responsible for producing animated films that marked generations, such as Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Eternal Lion King. It was he who made Disney buy Pixar and become a major producer of computer animated films, such as Toy Story, The Incredibles, and Finding Nemo. But Jeffrey wanted to become the President General of Disney. But the people there did not agree very much. That was the beginning of the bullshit and he got fired. That's when he and two friends, one of them being Steven Spielberg, founded Dreamworks. And the rest is history. Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, Shrek, Puss in Boots. There were 43 animated films, and the 44th is already in the oven, ready to leave. For this reason, Dreamworks whenever it can gives a joke, and even a copy in the Disney characters. And now we will show you 9 times that this happened. Finding Nemo was released by Pixar, when it was not yet Disney, but she joined the group in 2006. And let's be honest, this movie marked the future, being referenced in several other universes. Even Bugs Bunny has already talked about it, the Minions too, for having been a great success. And as we do not believe in coincidences, Spanish Sharks, released only a year later, certainly drank this water, even if it was from the bottom of the sea. Just the fact that they are aquatic stories already proves the copy that Dreamworks made. But in addition, in both movies we see stories of hard parents with their children, which ends up being the center of the unfolding of the movies. Another Dreamworks film that also references the little Nemo is Water Below. Actually, Nemo is not even that small anymore. It seems that he grew up and had not yet found his father. When Roddy falls into the toilet flush, he finds a lost fish who asks about his father. Just like Nemo, everyone knows that Shrek was released with the aim of making us laugh a lot, with the funniest parodies and jokes, involving virtually all the most famous fairy tales. And as much as Disney is not the creator of these tales, let the brothers Grimm say so. It was the animated films made by Mickey's House that popularized most of his stories, taking some of the dark parts and making the stories much softer. And Shrek mocks as many Disney characters and stories as possible, believe me. Let's just talk about a few of them. The first reference we will make is the Puss in Boots, the most beloved feline of the animations of recent times. We will even talk more about it in a while. The Boot Cat is a classic reference to Zorro, and you might be wondering, what Zorro has to do with Disney? Well, the first television series of the Masked Vigilant was launched in 1957, had 3 seasons and was produced by none other than Disney itself. We also see a parody of a passage of Beauty and the Beast, which has everything to do with Shrek and Fiona, is not it? But unlike Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast becomes a beautiful prince, we see Fiona becoming a beautiful ogre. Well, another Shrek satire with classic Disney movies. Yes, and there's another Shrek with Disney, that is at the moment. A red-haired mermaid, coincidence, isn't it? Takes a cone from Shrek himself. Very hilarious what Fiona does. Since we're talking about Ariel, the Little Mermaid from Disney, we couldn't help but talk about Ruby Gillman, the next Dreamworks movie. The animation is one of the clearest references and provocations of Dreamworks with Disney. That The Little Mermaid is a classic among the Disney classics. Very difficult to find someone who does not know the story of Ariel, the young mermaid with red hair. Focus on this person who falls in love with the prince she rescues. And there's a character in the movie that is clearly a copy of Ariel, because besides redhead, is also a mermaid. And detail, in the animation the roles of violence and heroes are reversed compared to the Little Mermaid. The villain in this case will be the mermaid, identical to Ariel. In story, the mermaids are selfish and evil beings, while the Krakens, species of Ruby, are those who must defend the world from the wicked mermaids. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think the witch Ursula villain of The Little Mermaid does not look like a little Ruby? Well, I think there's some message that Dreamworks wants to pass. I just think, did they mean that Disney was always wrong? Or that they do everything in reverse, on purpose? And there's something else. The Robbie Gilman movie will be released exactly 30 days after the live-action movie of The Little Mermaid. We don't believe in coincidence. The Dreamworks wants to enjoy the hype and surf this wave. Even tell us if you're more eager to watch The Little Mermaid live action or watch Teenage Kraken and why. Talk here in the comments, we want to know. The villain Jack Horner is really a bad guy. A reference to Disney in Aladdin's rug, which the villain uses only to wipe his feet. At another time he holds the poor magic carpet with the trident of King Triton, Ariel's father, and used the fairy godmother's stick to turn a pumpkin into a battle cart in place of a chariot. On top of that, he breaks Cinderella's crystal slipper, like it's no good. All these items are present in the classic fairy tale movies, immortalized by Disney. That is another mockery of Dreamworks with Disney. Cars was launched in 2006 and Turbo 7 years later, in 2013. Soon we know who came first. It's not it. If I could take a guess, I would say that Dreamworks was inspired, let's say, in Cars to create the plot of Turbo. In addition to the two films taking place in a racing environment, there is a great similarity between the stories of the two protagonists. Both are arrogant and confident, but then learn hard lessons, as there are things more important than winning races. This Jeffrey really came out of Disney angry. One of DreamWorks' craziest movies without a doubt is Bee Movie. The bee barely manages, in the course of the film, with the aid of justice, wins a lawsuit against humanity for exploiting the bees and consuming their honey produced with so much effort without proper repair. For this reason, all the honey consumed by anyone who was not a bee was immediately collected, and those who consumed was treated as criminals. But there's someone in the world of drawings and animations who likes honey more than everyone else. Do you know who it is? If you thought of Winnie the Pooh, you're right, one of the oldest and dearest Disney characters. And it's exactly he who is slaughtered and collected by the force of repression against honey consumption. Did DreamWorks mean they were targeting Disney? I think we got the references. Even Piglets, Pooh's loyal friend, makes a special participation in the sport. Bug's Life and Ant-Z are two films focused on the lives of their characters around an anthill and its problems and violence. In addition, the two films were released only a month apart, so much debate over who copied who. Ant-Z was the first DreamWorks animated film in history. Anyone who has watched the afternoon season knows that in Inspect Life, the fight is against the Locusts, led by the wicked Hooper. Z fights the evil General Mandible in his plan to end all of the colony's working ants. A similarity in the two films is that much of the plot revolves around the romantic pairs that include the princesses of the Ant Hills and the protagonists. In the case of Flick and Princess Ada in Bug's Life, and Z and Princess Bala of Ant-Z. Once again, we see two films that take place in the same environment and are comedies, in the same historical era, referencing the indigenous empires of ancient America, merging elements of the Inca, Mayan, and Aztec kingdoms. Another common point in the stories are the protagonists who develop their friendship throughout history. Remember that this time, DreamWorks launched The Road to El Dorado first. Rumors say that when DreamWorks learned the release date of The Emperor's New Groove, hurried and released his film first. But it seems that it did not work out, as the film is very little remembered, while Disney animation has become a cult film over time. But really, who did copy who this time? That we cannot know either, but surely that only adds to the bullshit and rivalry between the two film producers. Those were the 9 times DreamWorks copied or mocked Disney. And let's agree, this has worked very well, since the two producers have released more and more films so that we fans can watch. So if that's why, long live to this fight, and let more movies come. See you next time. Bye bye.